guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and today what we're going to give you is a little bit of a update on all of the builds that we have going on. We obviously have a lot of projects going at once, and I buy stuff that starts as a project, people buy it, we start on the cars, I have friends working on stuff, and a lot of times we get comments in the videos saying, well, why haven't you worked on this car? What's going on with that car? So we figured we'll do a quick walk around in the shop, show you guys the different projects that we have going on, give you a little bit of update on what the next steps are for those cars, and so you guys are updated and kind of have an idea of where the cars stand currently. So come on, let's go. All right, so we recently did rearranging of the shop. Now the free T is kind of in the final assembly stage and everything's shiny. I wanted to get it out of our fab area where I do a lot of the dirty work in this back corner. And we put that on the lift, and what that meant was the Sweetheart Roadster got dropped back down. When we started our channel, this was probably our main focus, and then as we got into the free T, that spiraled out of control, and I put a halt on this project. So Sweetheart Roadster is basically at the point where it is a roller. Most of the suspension and chassis work is basically done. We just have to do some welding of boxing plates, which we'll do later on in the project. Engine's all mounted up. That's all good. At this point, what I really need to do is start tackling more of the patch panels that it needs. In one of the last videos that we did on it, I made the patch panel for the driver's side, and I made a bead section in there. I need to work around the car and do all of that. Some of the really exciting stuff for me for this car is I'm going to be doing a lot of mid-50s show car style vibe on this. So we're going to be doing some stuff like the rear radio aerials that will have kind of blended into the body or to look like it's leaded in there. There's going to be upholstered wheel wells. Obviously we got a lot of chrome, kind of like an over-the-top type show car. So the plan is probably towards the fall or over the winter, I'm going to get back on this really heavily, and we're going to be doing a lot of those custom modifications, which I think will be really neat to show the process for doing a lot of that. And hopefully, fingers crossed, by this time next year, Sweetheart Roadster will hopefully be at the point where it's getting ready to do some paint type work for it, but I have a lot of work ahead of me. So that's the update on the Sweetheart Roadster. All right, we go to City Coupe. I built this car, I don't know, it's been 2 or 3 years now. I think this car's been done. I just drive the hell out of this car, and we beat the crap out of it at the Allentown Vintage Drags. We're gonna take it back in the fall, do the same thing again. And really this car just needs to be gone back through over this winter. So I don't know if we're gonna do a ton of videos on it, but I just need to go back through. There's some things nitpicky things that probably need to be finished. I'd like to do maybe some door cards inside the car and finish out the interior just a little bit better. So we may do a little bit on that. Maybe we'll work with Joe that did the interior before and see if maybe we can get some shots of making a tuck and roll door card. Not sure yet, but that's Pagoda City Coupe. It's just kind of here. It's Old Faithful. It's just a down and dirty hot rod and having fun with it. All right, so the yellow T. For some reason, unknown to me, this goddamn car is really, really popular. And I hate the color, but people seem to love the color. And whenever we do videos on this thing it gets a lot of comments and views, which is really cool. So this car was a body that I just I found or bought through another buddy, and our friend Spencer that comes over here to lend a hand fell in love with it. He kind of bought the body from me, and I've been basically giving him free shop space to work on it, and I've been coaching him. Unfortunately, with all of my projects, it's been going a little slow. So right now where we're at on this car is we got the front body mounts done, the rear part of the body bolts down, we got engine mounts tacked in place. Spencer started cutting tabs to make trans mounts to mount to the stock Model A center cross member. So those are there. We're about ready to weld those in and get those all situated. We're going to get the angle of the front of the engine sitting just right. And once we're done that, then it's kind of just the stuff will start falling together. We're going to shorten the drive shaft, mount up an F1 steering box. So we'll show you guys modifying F1 steering box to fit in the Model A frame, and just kind of that kind of stuff. So we're going to get back on this quite a bit more. We're going to try and at least get working on this once a week when Spencer comes over. Now that the free T is a little further along, I can kind of jump back on and help him occasionally with this. But goal for this, hopefully Spencer's watching, is to have this thing gone by the end of the summer, maybe early winter. Basically, we just need to get it like to the point where he can roll it in and out of his shop, maybe just start it up and move it in and out of shop on its own power, and he could finish up all the small stuff, but we're gonna do all the major fab work here. So hopefully we'll have a bunch of updates on this here really soon. All right, so Sweet 16 project. Andrew is working on this. I've been kind of lending him a hand, but I've been letting Andrew kind of show me his interest in it. So he's been busy with it. He got a part-time job this summer. He's got himself a girlfriend. So he hasn't been over here a ton. And again, me working on the Sweetheart Roadster, or the free T, I've been so obsessed with that I haven't been able to help him a ton. So where we're at on this is we have the body set on the frame. We kind of figured out the ride height that we liked, where we wanted the frame to sit. And what we need to do is make the body mount tabs for this. So we're gonna actually get on making the front body mount tabs for this really soon. This car is nice and solid, so it has the original mounting locations for the body mounts in the front. So we basically just have to make tabs, much like we did on the yellow T, to get this all mounted up. Once we have the body mounted in place and it bolts down, we can then take his Y block and start mocking that up inside the frame here, and start getting some stuff kind of set up so that we can get this to the point that the yellow T is. So I'd like to have both of these cars kind of a similar point by the end of the summer. So we're gonna start kicking ass on this thing really soon, and you guys will have some updates. I know this one's really popular, and we're gonna just make sure you give Andrew hell in the comments that he needs to get working on this thing. All right, the infamous meat truck. The meat truck is my swap meat hauler, and honestly, it's like my old faithful. I don't start this thing for like a month or 2 months at a time. You get in it, as soon as that thing gets fuel up to the fuel pump, it'll fire right up and it runs awesome. This truck I've had for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years or something like that. And I haven't done a damn thing to it like when I first got it, I did a ton of work doing the brakes. I built a gas tank for it. I went through all the wiring, pushed these fenders back out because they were smashed in. I got the rear doors to shut, like ton of work. And since then, all I've done is literally just use it for storage and drive to a swap meet and sell parts out of it. Anybody that's local that goes to swap meets, you know how to find me. You look for the meat truck and it's there. We'll have the meat truck at Hershey this year. So if you guys are walking around Hershey, I'll be in the chocolate field. We'll drop the space number in there. Look for the meat truck. You guys can come and check us out. So my plans, once this season is over, I'm gonna probably go through the truck a little bit and just do some maintenance stuff to the truck. We keep pipe dreaming about putting a little hitch on the back of it, maybe to pull like the free T or pull a car around. So we need to figure out how we can do that without altering the back of the truck. I don't want to cut out the back section of the truck to fit a hitch, so I need to figure out a way to kind of put something to fit in there. So that's kind of like my major plan. I'd like to lower it some more, but
hop up the flathead?
Yeah, maybe, but it runs too darn good. So I am tempted to put dual carbs on it and do some modifications, but this thing runs really, really, really well. Oh, I know what I need to do. Exhaust. This thing has no freaking exhaust. I chopped the exhaust off like right here.
It's great sitting in traffic.
Yeah, it's not fun. So if you like when you drive this thing, you need to have the doors open or you will die, literally. So when the doors are closed, you would just commit suicide. So the exhaust needs to be tended to. While it sounds loud and awesome, it makes like, anybody that's in this stuff, it's like, yeah, that's cool. It's like deadly. So I definitely need to get this thing up on the lift and just make some exhaust pipes, literally just duals that run to the back of the truck just to get the exhaust in the back of it. So that's kind of, that actually, now we're talking about it, that's the big important thing I'm going to try and do this fall on that. So if we can get this thing on the lift or get it jacked up, we'll do a video on this. We're planning on doing a video before the end of the summer of like a feature on the meat truck. We get a lot of questions about it, where I found it, what engine does it have in it, this and that. So we're going to do a video feature on that, of driving it around, what it's like. I'll tell the story about it and all that stuff. So we'll drop that before the end of the summer. We're going to take some time to drive around and do that. That should be a really fun one. All right, so 52 Chevy Frankie, the 52 as I call it. This car I've had for quite a long time, 5, 6, 7 years, I don't remember, but I've had this car for quite a while, and it basically needs an engine put back in it. Our buddy Pete sold me an old hopped up straight 6 for this. We did a video quite a while ago where we were looking at the engine, trying to figure out what was wrong, and in the end of that I was kind of like, maybe I'll put a small block in it. And then I realized that was a horrible idea, because small blocks are, while they're cool, I'm not into them, and it would suck in this car. So I got another 235. It's an old hopped up engine. We just need to kind of go through that engine and put it back in here. So that is kind of the major plan, is just get this thing by next summer driving. Because really I went through this whole car and put a gas tank in it, fuel lines, brake lines, like whole mechanical restoration on it has all been done. The car drove great. It just needs the engine needs to be gone through, put a replacement engine in. So that is the plan with this car, is just to do that. I'd like to lower the front on it a little bit more. Basically, I just cut like a leaf or a coil or two out of dead coil out of the front suspension. I put drop blocks in the back, and that was basically it. Also, it picked up a flat tire when we were doing our pinup photo shoot. We were rolling around the shop, and somehow I must have rolled over a piece of metal, and we got a flat tire. So I got to change this tube out like right away. So that's not going to be a video because that's boring, but I need to do that. So we'll get the 52 back on the road. Since it's been sitting here, it worked awesome because it's a really big car for shiny parts storage. So we were storing like pretty much half of the free T was inside of this. The doors, the grill, the windshield frame, pretty much anything that unbolted and was painted was inside of this car. So it worked really great for that, but now it needs to be on the road. So work on getting an engine back in that hopefully this winter, and next year it'll be driving. All right, so the free T. The free T is what I've been pretty much my focus for the past like year. I've been focused on getting this car together and getting it shiny and awesome, and it spiraled out of control. Basically where we're at now, I almost died because of my freaking arm working on this thing, pushing my infection too long. Where I basically stopped before I admitted myself to the ER was I was actually polishing the stainless pipes. So my buddy Ben helped build these stainless pipes for it that are just so kick-ass, and I can't wait to mount them. I was working on DA sanding out the tooling marks from the bends, and then polishing and buffing and polishing the pipes to get a mirror finish on it. And literally I couldn't work my right hand anymore to hold the pipe as I was buffing and sanding. So I looked at my arm and it was really, really gross. And I was like, yeah, I gotta go to the ER. So one pipe is polished on the driver's side. The second pipe for the driver's side is like mostly sanded for the DA. So once I get that one polished, that's basically ready to mount up on the driver's side of the car. Passenger side pipes, Ben got them welded up like, I don't know, actually I think the Wednesday that I went in the ER, I picked them up that morning, and he finished welding them. So basically I need to cut them the length. I gotta weld some tabs on them for mounting to the body, but otherwise they're basically done. So I'm hoping to have, within the next week or so, have the exhaust all buttoned up on this. We gotta get the radiator hoses, just final button up on those. And then we gotta run fuel lines and the small little bit of wiring on this thing. And it's basically ready to bring it back to Don and have him help us get the engine all set up and run in. And then once that's done, we're basically ready to freaking rip around in this thing. So I'm really, really excited. But we've gotten the headlights since the last kind of updates. I've gotten the headlights. My buddy Rob, that came over to help me yesterday in the evening, he came over and helped me because my arm's still kind of bummed. We machined the headlight stands to get them all so they fit the free T frame. These are made for 32 frame rails. These old headlight stands were made to fit those 32 frames. It didn't fit this, and the headlights were all wonky. They were like way out in the middle of nowhere. So he helped with some machining, getting those all set while I stood around and held my arm and looked like a bump on the log. But got them set. They look awesome. And kind of like I said, the next thing is just to get the stuff ready so that this thing can actually be fired up and ran. All the drivetrains all hooked up. I think I have one more hubcap to buff. So we're a good ways along on this car. Fingers crossed, I'm hoping by the end of the summer that I'm driving this car. But with me healing, I don't know how long it's going to take. But I'm going to do my best to get this thing running and driving so we can get you guys a sound clip of this thing running. It's going to be freaking wild. I can't wait. And then also if we can do some driving shots with this thing so you guys can kind of see and I can get the chance to drive this thing. So that is all the projects that we have going right now and kind of some updates. Oh, 39 Ford. 39 Y Block Ford.
Oh yeah, it's too hot outside to stand out in the sun.
39 Y Block Ford is outside because I have friends with cars in my garage that aren't working on them to get them out. Spencer and Andrew.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. So my 39 Ford is sitting out in the hot weather right now in the sun. But the 39 Y block car, basically, the engine's just about ready to pull. Max, the Max Ford Parts, they actually jumped on as a sponsor, and they sent us a complete full floor pan for the 39 Deluxe. They also sent me a brake rebuild kit for the 39. And then we were also actually speaking with Old Yankee Speed Shop, contacted us. And I think we're going to be doing some stuff with them, testing out their reverse side springs and their dual master cylinder adapters, some different stuff like that. So it's great that we're getting some interest from different companies that like what we're doing. And we're going to try and put those products to use and give you guys a fair review on what those products are like. So that's the 39 Ford. I'm going to be working on that in between of all this other stuff. We'll be tinkering with that thing, and hopefully it'll sometime be a car again. So that's the update on all the projects that we have going right now. Definitely drop us a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Which project is the one that you guys like the most that we have going? Free T is basically done, so you can leave the free T out of this.
And the Coupe.
And the Coupe. But what is your favorite project that we have started right now? With what you guys tell us, we may work more on that vehicle so we can get more videos out on it, because I don't really care. I got tons of cool shit, so I don't really care what we work on. But if you guys want to see a particular car, we'll definitely spend some more time trying to work on that car and focus on it, because if you guys want to see it, we want to work on it, get you guys some videos, and obviously you guys watching, viewing is really great. We do appreciate it. So we do videos on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. All I ever ask is tell a friend, tell a buddy. We don't have a Patreon. I don't want your goddamn money. I just want you guys to tell a friend, help grow the channel, and spread the gospel that is Old Hot Rods and Customs. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.